Tesla is now offering an auto trunk retrofit for pre-2020 Tesla Model 3s in China. Will it eventually be offered in the United States? If so, how much will it be, and more importantly, will it be worth it? I'm Frugal Tesla Guy, and I'm going to help answer some of these questions and more. As an early adopter of the aftermarket auto trunk for my Tesla Model 3 in 2019, the upgrade has become an afterthought after years of use in my daily routine. But once I heard China is now offering an auto trunk retrofit for pre-2020 Model 3s, it's a feature that got back to the front of my mind, and I immediately started asking questions, such as how much? Is it worth it? How will it compare to the aftermarket products? Will it ever be offered in the United States or anywhere else for that matter? Well, to answer the last question, there is no way to know for sure, since this is fairly fresh news coming out of China. However, we have known that the retrofit is possible when Tesla included a free power trunk to a reservation holder of a Model 3 who uses a wheelchair. And shortly after that, it then became standard in all Model 3s. So assuming it does make it to other parts of the world, including the US, we can only speculate how much it will cost. Now, we do know that in China at least, it's a little over $600 American to have it installed by Tesla. Now, this price does include the hardware. So, assuming it makes it to the US and assuming it's just a little over $600 American, absolutely yes, it will be worth it. Since day one, the price of the aftermarket hardware alone has been and still is $500. Now, this does not include installation, which will cost another $200 to $300 depending on your installer. So if Tesla can keep it under $700, then I'd say that's a fair price, especially if that's out the door, but it will probably be a little more once you add your local state taxes. Now, if we do end up with the option to go directly to Tesla for the retrofit, there will be a few key differences between their auto trunk and what's offered in the aftermarket world. Now, the auto trunk coming out of the factory has only one powered strut as opposed to two on the aftermarket kits. Now, that actually came as a surprise to me, but upon further research, I learned that one powered strut is actually quite common in the auto tailgate world. So I'm not exactly sure if having two powered struts is a big advantage or not. Now, the Tesla retrofit in China has a 3-year warranty, and if that makes it to the US, that could be a big advantage over the aftermarket kits. Now, another key difference, and big one in my opinion, is the fact that the Tesla auto trunk will be tied into the user interface in the car and on the app, making it more seamless. The EV Offer kit has been connected to the CAN bus since day one, and they have improved the way it interacts with the car over time. And thanks to some creative coding, they've been able to, in a sense, trick the car to give it the feel of being incorporated into the user interface. However, every once in a while, after certain software updates, the communication has been broken, but EV Offer has been able to quickly send out patches to get things up and running again. Now, that all being said, the EV Offer kit has worked beautifully since day one. But simply put, you won't have to worry about any of this with the Tesla installed retrofit. Now, for those that have followed this topic for a while, you might be asking about the weather stripping in the pre-2020 Model 3s. Well, the beefier powered strut rubs against the weather stripping, potentially causing damage. Now, the EV Offer struts have a soft silicone cover to prevent damage. The brand I have, however, doesn't have the silicone cover, and I actually do have some damage to my weather stripping. Now, I'm not exactly sure how Tesla will address this issue since the strut they use is also bigger. Will they cut the weather stripping down or just leave it as is? We may start getting more answers to this as we start getting images from retrofits in China. So moving forward, only time will tell whether or not this will make it to the US or anywhere else for that matter. But if it does, many of you who have steered away from the aftermarket and decided to hold out for Tesla to offer the add-on, may finally be able to have the much anticipated auto trunk on their pre-2020 Tesla Model 3. However, for those of us that already have the aftermarket auto trunk, we have a decision to make. Keep things as is or swap out the aftermarket hardware with Teslas. Now, since everything is reversible with the aftermarket kits, I can't imagine that will be a problem. But I did notice the button on the Tesla kit is square compared to the rectangular one mine has. But the opening is actually round and will most likely fit the Tesla kit. So at this point, all of this is clearly speculation. Yes, China is now offering the retrofit, but anything outside of that is still up in the air. But does add a little glimmer of hope for those of you who have been waiting for this. As for me, if Tesla does indeed bring this option to the US, I'm going to hold off. Yes, it would be nice to have the advantages that come with the Tesla kit, but I have been happy so far with my aftermarket auto trunk and would rather save the money at this point. So how about you? What are your thoughts? Tell me what you think in the comments section below. Until next time, thank you all so much for watching, and you know the drill. Like, subscribe, and stay positively charged.